Are you trying to make poo-poo?
I see. You don't have as much bass to your voice as you normally do.
We can tune that in post-production.
We won't, though.
You're gonna find
Just know, we can do a lot of things in editing, but we don't.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. A show where we discuss tips, tricks and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers, we just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news, information and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback, and you can contact us either by email, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com, or on Twitter at 2titans_hunter. Now, on with the show. This is going to be fun.
It is going to be fun.
Okay.
Ish.
So, I'm your host, Night Demon. Behaving himself in the corner this week is Respawn, but he is joined by his special guest, his wife and his grandma, as you can hear. And the reason Respawn is being quiet is because we have a special guest this week. He's a guardian that has not only saved the last city, but a man who continues to save cities in the real world, fighting fires. It's Blue Screen 42. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
What up? So speaking of blue screen, right? You don't live in Florida, do you, Blue?
I do not.
You do not. Okay. So a few years back in Orlando, we have Universal Studios, and they have Halloween Horror Nights, right? And back then, it was the whole Alien versus Predator thing, and nothing scared me, right? And then we walk into one room that's got a bunch of computer screens, and at that point in time, I screamed like a little girl, and everyone behind me screamed like a little girl. And then my friend at the time slapped me in the back of the head and said, "What was that for?" And I pointed at a screen that had the BSOD, and I said, "That is the scariest thing you can see in my line of work. That is terrifying."
Right. It helps me categorize who I'm playing with. Most folks don't recognize what blue screen means.
Yeah, so to me, your name is terrifying. It quells fear in my heart more than Crota. Okay, so
it's really great getting an invitation to the cast. I've listened to every one of them, and I love it. And I feel like there are two ways that I'm responsible for this, because you guys have been telling me what to do for years. And you probably started recording it for other people. But also, that was my whole build for D1. I had 2 Titans and a Hunter. That was
nice.
That was my build. No Warlocks for me in D1.
So you gave no Warlocks any kind of love. You?
No. I like them to self-res in my fire team, but I just never played one. Never even made one.
I might not be a Warlock, but I play one on TV.
What do you main at the moment then, Blue?
Well, I would say it would be Titan, because when it came down to having very little time in the Season of Opulence, and I had to choose one character, I chose the Titan to make this set of armor for. So I'm going to go with that.
So it's back to 2 Titans and a Hunter again this week, because Loser is still not with us.
That man is living the life. He's off. He's vacationing with his beautiful wife. They're having an amazing time.
He's going to regret it when he comes back.
He said he listened to the last podcast. He's like, "Oh my God, you're berating me already." It was like,
Yep. We haven't even got started, because guess what? He's awake for Luke Smith's Opus Part 4, and he said in the previous one, if Luke Smith comes out with another, feature-length article, he's done. So he's going to get payback for missing this one, because it just, it leaves me to go through it all, because Respawn hasn't read anything.
I haven't, no.
I've given Blue the notes like a couple of hours before, so he roughly knows what we
And on top of that, right? So on top of me not having read anything, and me already being, me, this is the tired. I only had 2 hours of sleep because I drove all night. Me, right? So this particular cast might be a little more goofy and confusing than usual, because that's how I'm feeling at the moment.
No. Fade it out.
Fade it out.
If he starts rambling about nonsense, he's being faded out.
Yeah.
You say tired and goofy. We say
I'm not even going to complain
Real-
about it this time because that's entirely fair with how I'm feeling right now, man. We got the notes. All right, we got the notes. Info we have added is in yellow. All right. Well, you've added a lot of yellow. That's a lot of yellow. 18 pages. Oh my god.
Well, you complained last week. It was 9, so you've got double this week.
Yeah, I don't want double. Oh,
But
did you?
Just means it's a 2-hour show then. That's it.
Did you?
If we double 9 pages, 9 pages equals an hour. So 18 is 2 hours.
Whew. All right.
So should we just dive straight in with?
I want to talk about the new hotness. I'm so looking forward to earning my redacted. I can't wait.
Right now,
It's gonna be
Everything's redacted.
It's gonna be so awesome.
It's all redacted until like 2 or 3 days before, and then they go, "Oh, this is what we meant." You go,
I'm pretty sure it's called redacted. I think it's gonna be called redacted.
Season of everything's
Free
redacted. So, Respawn, I'll read this to you because you haven't kind of had a chance to look at this. So, Luke Smith has come out with another feature-length blog post about seasons in Destiny 2 in the 3rd year. And he says, "Hey everyone, a couple of weeks ago I did a too many word retrospect of part 1, 2 and 3 on the last 6 months or so of Destiny 2. This covered what we think worked well, what we didn't think worked well, and what we hoped, and some of our thinkings on where Destiny 2 was headed." He then also goes on to say, basically, what we're expecting is a Rise of Iron sized expansion in Shadowkeep. So basically, for those of you who are new to Destiny or were not around for Destiny 1, Rise of Iron was a major expansion.
and it was
for
so
Destiny
fun.
1, and it was released on the 20th of September 2016, and it was the 4th and final expansion for Destiny 1.
Which by the way is where the some of our favorite guns come from, like the Prime, right? That came in yeah. So you were talking about Rise of Iron was a major expansion. I think that was my favorite expansion for D1 because we got some of the best weapons and armor in that expansion, so much so that some of those weapons have already carried over to D2, you know? And I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
You know, Siva was a really big part for me of the Destiny franchise. I loved everything about Siva. I loved the weapons. I loved the armor. I even liked the storyline. I don't even play Destiny for the storyline, and I thought it was good, you know?
It wasn't my favorite raid, though. I don't know. That raid.
You didn't have the Dark Drinker, did you?
I did.
Did you?
And I stood in the bubble that I made, and I dark drank that guy a lot.
Well, then it was easy. What's your problem with the raid? I love that raid.
Easy's not necessarily what I'm shooting for.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a good raid, both in ease of completion and how it was formed.
Going back to what I was saying, I found it quite interesting that Luke Smith was comparing Shadowkeep to Rise of Iron. So I went back and listed everything that we got with Rise of Iron. So what we got out of the box was a 5-mission campaign and additional missions and quests. So we got King of the Mountain, The Walls Come Down, The Plague Lands, Download Complete, and the Iron Tomb, which were our 5 campaign missions. We then got extra missions on top of that then finished out the story towards going to the raid. We got a couple of exotic quests. So we got the Kostov, which was an exotic auto rifle. We had a Symbol of Honor, which was the first step in Beauty of Destruction quest. And that then led to the Galahorn, if I'm not wrong. And then PlayStation obviously got their exclusive quests and stuff. They got stuff that nobody else got. Then we had a new patrol location, which was the Plague Lands, a new social space, which was the Iron Temple. So at that point, I think we had 3 social spaces, didn't we? We had the Tower, we had the Reef, and then we had the Iron Temple. And then we got some more exotic armor pieces and gear. So we had the Astrocyte Verse, which is already back, the Dune Marchers, which again are back, the Frosties, the Ophidian Aspects, the Shinobu's Vows, and Transverse Steps. And the only ones that haven't appeared are the Thagamizers, which were exotic Titan gauntlets that granted extra melee charge and unlocked Striker subclass node on the Amplify tree for free. So that was the only one that hasn't come back.
And yet. Thank God for that, because the last thing we need is Titans running around with 2 devastating melees, right?
You know it's going to come back,
I
but
don't
they've got to
want it to-
rework it where the
no.
skill trees are different now. Yes.
Stay away. Oh man. That Kvostov though, that was a good auto rifle. I was a big fan of that. Sorry, you just said the Kvostov, and I started thinking of the Kvostov, and then that auto rifle that was like the Kvostov, but it like chained electricity to all the enemies around him. What was that called?
Oh yeah, no, the Zalo Supercell.
That's the one. Oh my god, that's such an amazing gun. I hope that comes back.
That was Taken King, wasn't
Yes,
it?
it was. But still.
So we had 7 exotic armor pieces, and then we had 7 exotic weapons. So we had the Kostov, which was the auto rifle. We had the Nemesis Star, which was machine gun. You had Outbreak Prime, which is now our Outbreak Perfected. We had the Young Wolf's Howl, which was a sword. The Trespasser, which was like the Zalo Supercell and the Risk Runner all in one in a sidearm. And then we had Year 3 of Thorn and a Year 3 Galahorn. We also then got a raid, which was Wrath of the Machine, which you guys have already spoken about. Then we had 3 strikes. We had the Wretched Eye, the Devil's Lair, which was Sepkis Perfected, and the Summoning Pits, which was the Abomination Heist. We had, at that point, I think we then had got the artifacts, didn't we, towards the end of Destiny 1, and they had 8 different artifacts that we could use that would give us different abilities on all our characters. So I do remember one that gave you it always gave you up the map on your display when you were in looking down sights on your weapon. So a bit like the Hunter exotic helmet. I can't remember the name of it.
The radar, the knucklehead radar.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, so like the knucklehead radar, it was literally forever up on your HUD. So that made that exotic, null and void. Nobody ever used that anymore. They just used their artifact, and you could use it on a Titan and a Warlock as well. So yeah, you had 8 artifacts at that point, so you could see where the artifacts have now come from. We had 1 new Crucible mode, which was Supremacy, which we still have now. And then we got 4 Crucible maps. So we got the Floating Gardens, Icarus, which was a PlayStation exclusive, Skyline, and The Last Exit. We got the new enemy faction, which was the Devil Splicers. I suppose this time we're getting another version of the Hive, aren't we? Where they're all thorny and stuff. So we've got that kind of going on. You also had Archon's Forge, which was where you played like a cooperative. It's a bit like Escalation Protocol, wasn't it? You could kind of zone into an area and there could be other Guardians there or there could not. Defeated the bosses in this kind of closed area and you got weapons and armor to drop. You also had new customization options known as ornaments. They came for selected weapons and armor, and you acquired them from either Wrath of the Machine raid or weekly treasure boxes from Eververse. So that's what we got in Rise of Iron. So if Luke Smith is saying we're getting something very similar to that with Shadowkeep, that's quite exciting, isn't it? I mean, I think a lot of people were saying we hope it was going to be kind of along the same lines of Rise of Iron.
It sounds like a lot of content. Later he talks about breaking things into smaller chunks so they can take bigger risks with game changes and be responsive to the feedback.
Yeah.
Would you think this would be layered on top of that much content, or would this get kind of spread out into multiple?
I think the thing is, it's going to be, they've already said it's going to be we're going to get 2 strikes. They said there's going to be returning Crucible maps.
Seeing Xbox is actually PlayStation, because we PlayStation.
No, you're cutting in and out, Rita.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it so that I'm adjusting the sensitivity so that because I'm here and I'm talking directly in my mic, it'll pick me up, but it's not picking up all of the background noise too. Although I could also try that push to talk thing. Give me a second.
You could go back in the garage and turn the car on.
I mean, I could, but if I do that, my computer's battery is not going to last the 2 hours this podcast might. So there's that, right?
No, we can get this done quick, can't we? Look, we're already on page 3.
Absolutely.
I'm sure we are.
Oops.
Yes, we are.
All right, so discuss. So hopefully we should be expecting the same level of content as it's being compared to Rise of Iron. Is that where we were before I started fiddling with the?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I sure hope so, honestly, because that was a lot of content. And then even then, the artifacts. So that's something I wanted to point out, because back then, correct me if I'm wrong, but you could keep all of the artifacts and just swap them out as you wanted to, right? Like you had a bunch of artifacts you could use whenever. But this time, you got the one
And they
artifact.
came with different roles, didn't they? Of like intellect, discipline, and strength. So one week you may have got an intellect, discipline one, and then the vendor might have sold a discipline, strength one the next week, and it may have been higher in stats than what you'd previously got. So there were that you could see the starting blocks for where they've now kind of streamlined Destiny, and they've got the idea for kind of.
That's what I was going to kind of complain about. Is back then I liked it because depending on what you were going to do, you could just swap out for whatever artifact you wanted to use. But now you get one artifact per season, and when that season's over, that artifact is gone. You can't hang on to it. You can't swap it out if you want. You can't do any of that. And that, I think, is kind of a step backwards. Don't you think?
Well, no. I mean, the original artifacts they gave you things that negated the reason for having the exotics, like I was saying with the Knucklehead radar. It gave you no reason to use the Knucklehead radar because all you put on was the artifact, and you didn't need that anymore. It just made no sense. So I can understand where they're coming from, that they've taken like the exotic perks off of those and kind of made them more relevant to kind of unlocking, to give you more playability in the game. So if you want to generate more glimmer, then you'd kind of unlock the first couple of nodes that gives you more glimmer fighting against Vex or
right, and I totally get that. I do. But I like the fact that it would negate exotics. And like you said earlier, yeah, it may have negated the Hunter artifact, the Knucklehead radar, not artifact, sorry, exotic. But you could also use that feature on Titans and Warlocks, which they didn't have exotics for or skills for.
No.
You know? So that was another good thing about it. Yeah, it replaced something on a Hunter, which didn't make any sense because the Hunter had something else. But you also opened it up for the other two classes.
No, I understand. But we're not in Destiny 1 now. We're in Destiny 2, and they've completely changed everything.
All I'm saying is it seems like a step back. That's all I was saying.
Okay. Blue, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm still trying to get a handle on the whole artifact idea and the idea that there's no cap.
No.
Forward, which is going to be interesting, right? So you're definitely going to see some people that are going to really figure out how to get that thing exploited. I mean, when Cheese Forever gets his hand on that, whatever it is, it's going to be.
I think a lot of people are going to
be a meta,
completely max it out. But
you can't.
They haven't.
You can't max it out. It's like an MMORPG, right? So you don't have a level cap, but the higher you get, the more, let's say, experience in this case it takes to get to that next level. So yeah, I mean, it might not have any cap, but who knows? By level 99, it may take 15 million experience to level it up again. So there's going to be a tapering off point, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to allow people, I think that's what they're getting at, a variety of ways to play the content. And that if you have the time and you live for the grind, you're going to really be able to take it.
And it's only going to be for this season. You know, they haven't said for like the next couple of seasons, your artifact's going to have no cap on it. They may find that they need to put a cap on it, and then they'll readjust it and readdress it and let us know, you know, what they want to do with it. You know, it is just a test for them at this point, this first season.
I'm kind of hopeful because they were saying that by heading it into seasons, they'll be willing to take some more risks. And if something comes out to be my new favorite gun, they're not going to be nerfing it.
Yeah.
They're going to let me have it for the season.
Yeah.
And it, you know, just confronting their biggest problem, which is balance, right? So if you're making a meta then that just removes all the balance. Everybody's now using Galahorn again. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, but maybe the meta will
Luke-
change more often than what it.
Yeah, I think that's what they're hoping, isn't it? That the meta will change with, the different seasons and the different mods that you can then put into your armor. It's it's a good thing, I think.
How long will seasons be? Will it be 4 months?
Well, for this season, they said it's going to be 10 weeks. So 10 weeks from the 1st of October.
That's great. A lot of seasons.
So Luke Smith does go on to say that Shadowkeep is where we'll explore how the moon has evolved since we were last there. They've put overhauls to the key game systems, such as armor, that will give you more choice on how you want to play and look. The evolution of the game's difficulty system, starting with the changes to the Nightfall strikes that you may have seen in the previous or last week at Gamescom. More on that down the road, apparently. The features that make it easier to play with friends, such as New Light and cross-save features. And they're simultaneously deepening the parts of Destiny that they know and love, but also removing the prohibitive stuff that's been from before that's made Destiny hard to play with your friends. So he goes on to talk about the philosophies and how seasons are shifting to fit how we tell the stories and move the world forward in the visions of Destiny 2 as a single evolving world. And he says back in June, they mentioned that one of the ways that we're making it easier for friends to play together is offering everything like a la carte. So they're going to give you the chance with each season, and you and your friends can choose what you want to play and how you want to play it. And the world will change with every season. Year 3 will have 4 fully supported seasons of content. Last year's annual pass was only 3, but this year you can opt in and out for, you can opt in for 10, they say $10 a season, but I think it's wherever you live, $10 in America. Yeah, you won't have to pay upfront or for the entire year of content with the Forsaken annual pass. And he says, for your information, the first season in this new vision, Season of the Undying, is included with Shadowkeep. But if you want to just experience Season of Undying, you can grab that a la carte without needing Shadowkeep. So at the moment, you can't buy a la carte, but I know when the 1st of October hits and Shadowkeep is released and the game is then updated, you should then be able to go into whatever system you are and purchase Season of the Undying if you just wanted to buy just that season for itself without having to go and play the Shadowkeep story part and missions and raids and things like that. So you could just buy like the season pass for each season.
I know you say without having to, which I'm so excited to do all that stuff. I just don't understand. I love, we're still going to have season pass, right? So we can pay for everything.
Yeah, I mean, you can pay for everything straight out of the gate now.
They're just trying to make it easier for people that, let's say, we're adults. We play Destiny as adults. So if we want it, we get it, assuming our wives don't kill us first, right? But let's say you're an 8-year-old kid that plays Destiny, or a 12-year-old kid, or whatever, and the only way you get these expansions is by mowing lawns to get money. Well, they might not necessarily be able to just afford all of the things. So, if all of their friends are like, oh yeah, well, King's Fall is the greatest or whatever, right? Well, then he wants to buy King's Fall only so that he can play with his friends with that content. It sounds like they're opening the different ways you can access the game and still be able to play with your friends without you having to buy all of the things. It's not an all or nothing kind of thing. So it's like I said, it just sounds like they're opening doors by enabling something like this to happen.
I absolutely agree. And they're talking about it in exactly the same terms you're using. It's like more ways to play with your friends. And you can get them to come in and just do this one thing. You can get them to come in and buy
I missed half that conversation because I was moving outside to the Louisiana humid and heat.
It sounds great, though. Sounds awesome. Have a beignet.
That's going to be later today. The wife's already talking about going to the French Quarter. I'm like, it's Saturday. You don't want to go to the French Quarter on a Saturday. But she's not going to listen. We're going to have to go to the French Quarter on a Saturday, and I'm going to hate life. But it is what it is. Anyway.
To the Yeah,
Oh my
check
God,
out the
it's a
graveyards.
raccoon.
They're awesome.
There's a raccoon out of here. And it's looking at me.
It's awesome. So excited for you.
And we'd like to welcome the raccoon
So-
to the podcast
Hey,
as Respawn's
I've
gone
never
to go
seen
and
a
cover.
Special
raccoon
guest.
in real life, dude. This is weird for me. It's going up to the cat. Dude,
the
is it
first
going to
time
fight the cat?
In your life?
Yeah, in
you've
real
seen
life,
raccoon?
yeah.
Have you not seen one in a zoo?
No, not in the zoo.
Okay.
No, it's eating the cat food, and the cat's just letting them. What?
But yeah, you don't want to mess with the raccoons. They have thumbs. They have opposable claws on their thumbs, so they're big trouble. They're
Welcome back to Raccoon Talk, where we discuss what's happening in Respawn's grandma's back garden.
It's actually the front yard, but yeah, man. It's like, crikey,
Whatever.
look at this raccoon here. It's just taking the cat food, and the
Crikey.
cat food's just letting him do it. Crikey. Never mind. Right.
Yeah, one of the things that was kind of glossed over, and you guys have talked about a little bit before, was the play and look the way you want to, and I'm looking forward to that. I think Parody's favorite part of the game. We may not be able to get him into a strike anymore.
Well, we didn't
He's able
gloss
to
over it. We
build.
talked about it in other podcasts because we don't know exactly how that's going to work. Because I want to wear Escalation Protocol armor because I think it's gorgeous. Now, does that mean all of our armor, all of the armor, is just going to become an ornament token, or what? So that's why we kind of glossed over it because we've been over it before and we just don't know how it's going to work.
Right. Respawn.
What?
Listen, focus.
Focus.
If you want Escalation Protocol armor, you need to go back and do Escalation
Oh yeah,
Protocol
that I know. I know that now.
from the 1st of October.
But before
you know
we
that now.
knew that they were going to revamp all the armor, we didn't know that yet. So we were curious how it was
Okay.
going to work.
Okay.
I'm hoping, don't want to rehash all the same arguments,
No,
but
it's
that
fine.
they'll have some kind of transmog where you can make the armor that works the way you want it look the way you want it. There's really no reason that you shouldn't be able to customize the look.
I mean,
of it.
for the next couple of months, it's just going to be certain armor pieces that you can then put the Eververse stuff on that you earn or have earned. So I think they'll probably evolve that over the next couple of years and say, right, all of this is now kind of unlocked and you can put it on as an ornament and make yourself look the way you want to. But for now, we've kind of only got certain sets that will be able to do that. Okay. So continuing on, the world of Destiny 2 changes every season. So within each season in Destiny, they want players to feel like they, as a community, are contributing to Destiny as an evolving world. Each season in Destiny has to ride the line between delivering self-contained, season-long world arcs and making a handoff to the next season, which is what Luca alluded to in the last couple of blogs. So together, seasons move the Destiny universe forward. In Season of the Undying, which is the next season, the portal to the Black Garden that was opened as part of the Jacket quest has awoken the Vex, and they are now pouring out across the surface of the moon. Working with Ikora, players will do something, go somewhere, fight something, and solve a problem, also known redacted.
Really?
And by the end of the season, the portals will close, the world state will have changed, and the season's activity connected to it will also go away.
Mm-hmm.
They say, yet some things will remain. This will just be in time for Redacted to kick off the start of Season 9, Season of Dawn. Everyone who plays Destiny will be able to see how the world is different and changes during the season. So no matter whether you're new light players or you're Destiny Shadowkeep owners, everyone will contribute and everybody will kind of see how the world changes. And then once that season's over and done with, we'll have something completely different, going on in that world. Those with the season pass will be able to play seasonal match-made activity within the Black Garden for that extra sweet level of goop. Extra level of sweet gear.
Where's your mind at?
Yeah. For the extra level of sweet gear. This is similar to the old annual pass access, but the goal is that everyone will be involved in how the world changes. So I'm kind of thinking this is something that's going to be set in the Black Garden that's along the same lines of Escalation Protocol, the Archon's Forge, or the Menagerie of this season, that it'll only be there for a certain short period of time. Maybe like a bit like the Haunted Forest or like the EAZ that we've just had, it's going to be there only for like the 10 weeks that we have access to it, and then it's going to go. And they say at the end of the season, your collective actions will have caused the world state to change, and the season's activity connected to those events will also go away. As Blue was saying earlier, doing this allows us to evolve the world, narratively, but potentially physically as well. And it's not possible to keep Destiny in a frozen place to allow all the activities to live forever, whilst also changing the world in meaningful ways. The strategy is to let our team be agile and innovative. What are you sending me pictures for?
I'm not sending you pictures specifically.
I don't want to see pictures of a raccoon.
This is the Raccoon podcast.
It's looking at me now. Now. It's like on the table in front of me, and as it's eating, it's showing me its teeth. I'm not entirely sure if I'm safe right now, man.
I need to see a video of that.
Dude, all right, I'll show you.
I need
Hold on.
attacking you.
Oh, attacking me?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me. No, it's like it's baring its teeth at me while it eats, man. It's like it is. I'm telling you. Look, I got a video right here. Bam.
It shouldn't be out during the daytime. There's something wrong with that.
Right? I'm telling you, man. This thing is unstable.
It's the heat.
It's the something.
It's the heat.
Jiminy Christmas. There you go.
It's kind of skinny
There's the raccoon, like snarling at me as it's eating, right in front of me.
Thank you.
Anyway, so I wasn't trying to interrupt the podcast. That's why I sent it to the band chat and not the podcast
No, but
chat.
my phone's bleeping away. I was like, oh.
Well, that's your fault for leaving the sound on. See?
So we're gonna get some more fun facts about raccoons real quick here. Let me tell you.
By the way, this is all Destiny related. We just don't know how yet. Okay, it'll tie in the season of Shadowkeep at some point in time. All right.
You know that one female raccoon can, as a former pet, turn into Wisconsin wildlife. Raccoons can live up to 6 years, but in captivity, they're good for 10 to 13. It's amazing.
Lovely.
It comes during the daytime to eat with the cats and dogs, man. What?
See, Blue, normally he hasn't got raccoons distracting him. He's just got whatever's in his room distracting him. Now he's got added outside area to distract him. We now have raccoons distracting him.
Should I try to pet it? Should I see if it's been domesticated?
Jesus.
There's going to be some National
Please.
Lampoons.
No.
Do you have National Lampoons in over the pond? You know what I'm talking about, right, Blue? That one scene where the raccoon attacks his face?
I know.
Yeah.
Do you think that like America lives in its own little bubble and we don't know what goes on?
Little bit, yeah.
With National Lampoons. Yeah.
That's the American arrogance showing.
Even though it has been the subject.
Right. So getting back to what Luke
I can
Smith
tell you.
was going on
Yes,
about.
getting back to raccoons. Even though it has been the subject of some pretty serious controversy, raccoons can indeed eat cats, small dogs, and
Lovely.
animals. Kittens are in fatal danger if raccoons are near them.
Anybody out there that's listening that wants to know more about the podcast,
We'll put a link in the.
raccoon. We'll put a link in the show notes for you to contact either Blue for the facts or Respawn for any testing on the animal that you want done.
No, I want to point out that no raccoons were hurt in the recording.
Look, I can't say that just yet because it's getting closer to me.
Just yet.
It's legit getting closer to me.
It's early still.
It's
early.
Back away slowly.
Okay, it ran away when I raised my voice. No, we're good. When I screamed like a goat, it ran away. All right. Anyway, so
Jeez.
Right, Demon, can we please get back to Destiny?
Yes,
and raccoons.
because people don't want to hear raccoon talk.
Says you.
I'm never getting invited back. Oh.
So Luke was saying This strategy lets our team be agile and innovative, and they believe that the
So
Destiny will
speaking
grow
of things
even
that are
bigger.
agile and innovative, did you know that raccoons have opposable thumbs and they can solve problems? And they're very agile.
Told you that.
This strategy lets our team be agile and innovative. We believe that
Just
Destiny will
right
grow
over.
even better when the world state can change, and that the best Destiny stories are ones that where they say you had to be there when. But while events and activities in the world will come and go as the world evolves, weapons critical to the meta will not be locked into a season for the new players or for players who miss them in that season. So legendaries and exotics that you need to have to stay competitive will be re-earnable in future, although not always immediately after that season ends. And they will be
To talk about that.
Yeah, they're going to be talking
But-
about that much later.
So, quick question
And this is
on that subject, right? I'm
Mhm.
on topic, right? So I was reading the notes, and it said that we're going to get a new exotic heavy bow and a new exotic hand cannon. Again, I believe what it is, but it's restricted to the people that have bought the DLC, right? So what happened?
Nope.
It said it. It said season pass holders.
Nope, it's not restricted.
Okay, so when it says specifically season pass holders, what does that mean to you, Demon?
You're going to make me scroll ahead, aren't you? Just so that I can answer that question that we could have answered later on in the show.
It is later in the show, but the idea here where they're going to make things available, like they promised that with the faction items, and then never really realized it, right? I mean, stuff came. It was what, a year or two later, and it's going to be strange. Like some of those prestige items that you guys have been talking about, the pinnacle things that I'm never going to get in PvP, that show that you did the grind. Does this mean that they're going to, after someone has done some extraordinary grind, make another easier avenue for people to get to it?
Yes.
Is that what they're saying?
To answer your question, yes, that has been discussed, and they have said that they're going to do like they did with the broadsword and something else. And they specified the mountaintop. They said they're going to make the mountaintop and the Wendigo missions easier to obtain the pinnacle weapons. So, yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do, it sounds like. But anyway, what I was talking about, let's say for a second later on, right? It is season pass only that gets the bow and the hand cannon. What if those become meta? Will those become available to everyone if they become meta? Like, what does this statement mean?
And you pay for the
I pay to have it
you pay
here
for
and
that
now
season
kind of
pass.
thing. I pay to have it first.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you get it first. Is that all your questions?
No, that was it.
Have I answered
That's
it?
all I wanted to know is how people obtain something that could potentially be meta. Yeah.
Fair enough. They say we wanted a reward system that could standardize some of the reward mechanisms each season, provide a clear values in its rewards, make the value of paid season supers clear. Make the value of paid seasons super clear and allow players predictable progress via XP. We all love the chase, the perfect role, but we all play differently. So year 3 will add more transparency and predictability while still giving you the RNG option for an unexpected gear or role that you didn't know that you loved until you got it. And they're going to add...
This whole time he's been quiet. He's been looking for a raccoon voice to play. Well played, good sir.
Blue.
Well played.
Blue, he doesn't need any encouragement to come off track. I didn't realise inviting you on the podcast was just going to make it go off the rails completely.
The Titan is enabling the hunter. Good job. I approve.
Jeez. So, they're going to add 2 new predictable reward pursuits in Season of Undying. Number 1, the seasonal artifact.
Hold up. I can read some of this, all right? I don't need prior knowledge to read this. You've been reading the last 5 pages. Take a break.
I'm boring the socks off of you.
Only a little. All right, so seasonal artifacts. Our first addition to the new seasonal artifact, which is free to all players. This will allow you to further customize your Guardian's build every season by unlocking additional mods to socket in your Armor 2.0 gear. Earning XP just by playing will level up your artifact, letting you unlock the next mod you want for your character. And my going to next page button didn't work. There we go. While leveling up and unlocking mods, you will also increase the power of the artifact, which will continue to increase until the end of the season. Yes, it is uncapped. Artifact power adds directly to your overall power and is account-wide. That's nifty. We want the artifact to let us experiment more freely with our sandbox. We want to date new builds, not get them hitched. Oh, we want to date new builds, not get them hitched into the forever combat ecosystem. It doesn't have to be forever anymore. Although I wasn't exactly complaining about the Well of Radiance being forever. Just so you. The artifact can spotlight some different ways to play each season and introduce new types of perks, while we, and you, can experiment more boldly with new combinations and expressions of power. We want to use the artifact as a mechanic to allow the game to shift some each season. In an action game like Destiny, part of the fun can be discovering new ways to play. Seasonal artifacts and seasonal mods will go away at the end of each season. Boo. It's actually in there. It says boo. I don't know what your notes say, but mine says boo. And the new season will bring a new artifact, new mods, and a new pursuit of power. This way we can try to boulder balance choices. Oh, we can try bolder balance choices. It helps if I can read today. Look at that. I'm talking smack and I can't even read. Blech. This way we can try bolder balance choices each season with the sandbox, and if we get it a little wrong, we'll be more likely to let it ride for the whole season without nerfing your new favorite OP build. I don't believe that for a second, but we'll see. I'm just saying, if it's OP, they're gonna nerf it. They always do, but whatever. Moving on. Seasonal XP progression. The second predictable reward chase we're adding to the season are the season pass ranks. We want to make sure that each season has multiple complementary reward sources because we all play Destiny differently. You've said that!
You love it when they repeat themselves.
I
really
don't. And we want to be able to customize our Guardians the way we want to. Oh my god, is this guy just stuck on a loop? Does he just copy paste and forget that he copy pasted? What the hell? Is this you?
I may have copy pasted it just to wind you up.
So this is you? You did this?
No, I didn't. I might have, but I didn't.
We will continue to have RNG rewards as a part of our activities, and we also want to add a direct track of rewards each season so that you can progress every evening. Now, as someone that has been accused of being narcissistic, I don't know how true it is.
Right, the best weapons. Best weapons.
All right. Anyway, so the best weapons and armor will still live in the treasure chests of our toughest monsters and villains. But we hope now there will be fewer nights where players feel like they've logged onto Destiny and got nothing done. Grabbing bounties, doing strikes, completing weekly challenges. There are straightforward ways to unlock the season pass ranks when you don't have the time to arrange a raid group, or check Google for the right strategies to solve a problem, or gamble against RNG where it feels like the house always wins. The ranks help our friends in the community who have families and or full-time jobs who are deep in finals territory at college. That's it. That's the complete thought. Okay. So sometimes you just want to log in, grab some bounties, shoot some aliens or guardians, earn some XP, and chill with your buddies. That's why we've added 100 ranks to earn each season, with free and premium track rewards, plus a UX design that's intuitive and familiar if you play other games. When he says UX, does he mean UI?
No idea.
User experience. I think he's just he's being crafty.
I got you. I thought he was trying to talk about like the user interface or something. Like, okay, it makes sense.
I think he is, but he wants it to mean more than that.
What I was going to say here is this is what you were asking the question about with the weapons that are coming up.
Right.
So, did you want to kind of?
Yeah, no, I'll read it. Yeah, if somebody stops
You carry
interrupting
on.
me, again, pot kettle. Unlike those other games, unlike those other games, you'll make progress by earning XP, doing the things you're already doing in Destiny, defeating monsters, and completing bounties and activities. This is about a new addictive layer of predictable rewards just for playing the game. Here's a look at the Season Pass UI. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe it was a typo before.
Actually, it's not. I looked it up. It says UX is where science of the player meets the art of the game design. And so everyone on a development team is a designer, not just those with design in their job. Seemingly small choices made by everyone on the team will impact how game experience manifests players. So it's user experience.
User experience. Gotcha. Well done. See, he's proactively Googling stuff we have questions for. Yo, Parody! I think you might be out, bro!
No, he's not out. He's a catalyst for you and these blooming raccoon things that go on. Imagine what he does each week. He's already blown his chance to come back. That's it.
It's over. I had one shot.
This is one and only chance to get his say across. You might have you might have all the stuff that you can do. Just go for it. Yeah, see, there you go.
This week, that's gonna be my overlay for the swear words. Hold on. I'll curse like 5 or 10 more times during the stream just for a reason to put more
No, please, no.
Oh man, the humidity. I can feel the humidity in the air. That's why I'm coughing so much. It's just so wet humidity. Here, man. Oh my god, yeah, Louisiana's always like 80 to 100% humidity. Imagine, if you will.
Come on. Focus. Focus. Nobody wants to imagine. Focus. Okay. Season of the Undying. Season pass. Go.
Anyway.
Shout at me.
It's all a part of the season. With every season pass, you'll get everything you'd expect from a Destiny season. New activities, rewards, storyline, etc. Not just the new season rank UI and the rewards tracks. Like I alluded to way back in the first director's cut, we need a more sustainable ways, it says that, to deliver rewards, and the season rank UI is a big step in us getting there. So now, with this entire context, excuse me, let's look at what this look blah 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 blah. So now, with this entire context, let's look at what you season pass owners get in the Season of the Undying, which again is included with Shadowkeep. Okay. Season pass owners get access to new seasonal activity, the Vex Offensive, which includes 4 legendary weapon drops, additional weekly and daily bounties, additional weekly challenges with powerful rewards, a new weapon quest for an exotic bow called the Leviathan's Breath, and if I'm not mistaken, that is the heavy bow that's coming. And
Bungie, have a
Bungie,
catalyst. I'm
talking to you. Better have a damn catalyst. That's right. Give me my catalyst for the bow. Whatever. Exclusive to Season Pass owners. A new exotic hand cannon called Ariana's Vow.
Yep.
Ariana's Vow. Again, another hand cannon because why not? And awarded on rank 35 of the free track. What the hell? Oh, okay. I see what they did there. Okay, so exclusive to Season Pass owners, you get a new hand cannon called Ariana's Vow, which is awarded on rank 35 of the free track and awarded rank 1 of the premium track. Okay, so it is just kind of like a pay to get it faster kind of deal. All right, cool. 3 seasonal legendary armor sets, 1 for each class. collect a complete set during the first 25 ranks of the free track. So, how many pieces of armor? There's 5 pieces of armor plus a class piece, right? So 6. You get the head, the chest, the gloves, the boots. Okay, so there's 5. Okay, so about 1 every 5 ranks, if it's within the first 25, would be my guess. Note: this is a change from the annual pass where you were required to purchase gear from the season.
What I found confusing here was that there's the discussion of having a pinnacle weapon where there's a difficulty level to get it that they're then going to change later so that more people can enjoy it. And here, where you're going to have a season holder get something earlier by spending money that could be earned for free. So it's not pay to win because everybody can do it eventually, which is good.
Yeah, I
right?
like
That's
that.
what we want.
I think that's good, right? Because people like me that are impatient, I'm going to pay to get it because that's just how I am. People like somebody else might not have the money, but they can still get it and still compete. So I'm a fan. You know, which choice?
So I think what this means is there's going to be 2 tracks, isn't there? There's a top track and a bottom track.
There's a free and a paid.
And say you're So if you're a new light player, you can just play through that season pass, and at rank 35, you'll get access to the Ariana's hand cannon, the exotic hand cannon, that quest. But if you pay for the season pass with Shadowkeep, you get access to it on day 1 of your first rank up.
I bet that's the one that sets you on fire, the sniper hand cannon?
Possibly.
Yeah, okay. Sorry. Continue.
So yeah, there are 2 different tracks. There's the free track, which will still allow you access to those items, but you have to progress up to level 100. Like they were saying, you have to complete the first kind of 35 to get to that point to unlock that one. And there is a picture on the Luke Smith article, and it shows you a rough estimate. At rank 20, I believe you get like 25 shards, and then you get something else at 22. There's about 10,000 glimmer at rank 23, a cloak or a bond or a butt cape for level 24, exotic engram at 25. So you get all of that on the premium track, but you must also get the stuff that you get on the free track as well as the premium if you've bought everything, I guess.
So does that mean if you paid for it, you get everything twice?
Well, there are different rewards. So maybe it knows if you paid for the season pass and you've got the premium track, it knows and it'll adjust the rewards. So rather than, say, rank 35, you getting access to another hand cannon, maybe it gives you 10,000 glimmer or something like that. Or an exotic engram or a bright engram. It will just adjust it. It'll know that, you've purchased the season pass for that season.
So this is great podcast stuff, but that diagram that he showed, the season UI, was just more confusing than...
Yeah.
I think it has 2 different rows on it, and then the 10 columns. It's just...
Well, I think the top one is the free track, and the bottom one is the paid track. That's how it looks like to me.
Well, you don't have to use the paid track, but if you purchase Shadowkeep, you do get the first season free. So...
Dun, 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 dun. So there is no free track. Because whatever.
Well, no, there is, because new light players might not want to purchase Shadowkeep, and they may just want to play with their friends. They will also get access to those certain things, but at a later stage.
Listen,
they'll have to do a bit more
grinding. I
need
you to stop defending the little man. All right, because you're counterproductive to what I'm trying to do here. Moving on, the premium track will get you all 3 sets on rank 1 of armor. Okay. These also drop within the Vex Offensive seasonal activity. We're just going to ignore the fact that he's trying to interject. If you want versions with higher stat tiers, you need to play the Vex Offensive to earn them. Some additional premium track rewards: 3 universal ornament armor sets, 1 for each class. An exotic weapon ornament.
Are you on a steam train or something?
A little bit. An exotic weapon ornament.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What is that?
I don't know. What is what, man?
It's like you're standing next to a steam train and it's letting all the steam out.
Oh, those are cicadas, man. Do you not know what a cicada is?
I have no idea what you're saying to me right now.
Seriously? You don't know what a cicada is?
No.
What? They're really noisy bugs in Louisiana,
Really?
Florida. Yeah, they're really loud. You've never heard a cicada? Like, have you watched anime and there's really loud? They're the same noises in anime.
What is that?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Let's get back on track. We can do this.
Yeah.
We can do it.
Okay, so at what point in time did you guys have a hard time hearing me?
Some additional premium.
track. Yeah.
Okay. Some additional premium track rewards. If you hear the cicadas again, let me know because they're just background noise for me. I don't pay attention to them. I'm used to them. Some additional premium track rewards. 3 universal ornament armor sets, 1 for each class. An exotic weapon ornament for Arena's Vow. 2 legendary weapon ornaments. A new finisher. An exotic emote. And an exotic ship. Progression or how differently you all play Destiny. For many of us, Destiny 2 is a regular hobby, but now that hobby fits in with our lives. For many of us, Destiny 2 is a regular hobby, but how that hobby fits in with our lives is different. Okay. We have players who play every day. We have players who have 10 to 15 hours a week, and we have players who log in for whatever time they can spare. We want the whole community to be a part of how the world changes every season, and we keep coming back to giving players choice of how they want to spend their time. Some other games let players buy every rank when the new season begins, but in Destiny, we want your time spent playing the game to matter. We want the first players who unlock a bunch of the sweet stuff to have unlocked it through play, not pay. Some of the players are going to work super hard trying to reach rank 100 as quickly as possible, and we think that's great. I am confused as hell, because he just said that season pass holders get stuff at rank 1 that the other guys don't get until rank 35, and now he's saying he wants everyone to work a little while to get the same stuff. Anybody tracking with that?
You know, as I had mentioned, it was the 2 different courses that they're taking. One where pinnacle weapons can be earned, and then it'll make it easier, and then that there's still 100 ranks. So everybody's going to benefit from getting to 100. You're going to get a specific weapon at 1 rank, where a non-season pass holder will get it at 35. But you're still going to have 100 ranks worth of rewards you're digging through. You're going to be motivated whether or not you bought the content to get to 100.
Yeah, I get that. It's just when you said, we want you to have it unlocked via play, not pay. Well, if that was the case, you wouldn't give us a whole bunch of stuff rank 1. But whatever, moving on. To solve this, we are planning to allow season ranks to be purchased as a catch-up mechanic late in the season. We're going to wait and see how players engage with season ranks to make sure it's turned out well before determining exactly when we unlock the ability. So do they mean pay with silver? Do they mean pay with glimmer? Do they mean pay with
They make
dust?
it real clear as you go on.
Okay. When are you guys got to take over? I need to attend to a child momentarily. Okay?
Right. Well, this is Blue Screen, and I'm going to carry on. Season of the Undying runs for 10 weeks, and we're currently thinking of enabling this somewhere in the last 2 to 4 weeks of the season, meaning that you'll have 6 or 8 weeks of straight play, and then they'll make an option for a person to buy their way into the content. All part of their theme of getting more ways for people to be able to play together. If you were busy and couldn't play for those first 5 weeks, it's not like the season's over for you. If you have the means, you could buy that content and be able to participate at the same level as your friends. I was concerned that it was pay to play, but it's explained pretty well as it goes on. We know that sometimes life gets in the way, and you just want to get the last few rewards before the season ends and everything resets. In the same way that we've been doing seasonal catch-up for power, we think providing a late in the season rank catch-up makes sense. This initial version is our starting point, and the way we're designed seasons moving forward means that we're going to be able to have the flexibility to tune how this works once we see how Season of the Undying goes. For example, if our internal team tests players playing strikes in a fairly relaxed manner, 18 minutes per strike playtime, with full stacks of bounties, can get a seasonal rank in less than an hour. Every week, Guardians also get rest XP bonuses per account, where the first 3 ranks are able to triple XP. Playing strikes with full stacks of bounties and rest XP should get 10 ranks in around 8 hours. Our goal in tuning this is for our most committed Destiny players who start on week 1 to reach 100 simply by doing the things they already love spending their time on. If that's not happening, we have the freedom and ability to adjust. We want Destiny to be your home however you want to play and hit 100. You may never want or need to buy a rank. Your seasonal rank also goes away at the end of the season. A new season of ranks and rewards will take its place. And like our seasonal activities, we don't want important gameplay-focused rewards to be inaccessible to players who missed the season. So any legendary or exotic weapons introduced in the season pass will be attainable in future seasons. Those coveted rewards won't be available immediately, but it won't take longer than 6 months either. More details on that soon. And that very much answers the question about how they had promised factional rewards that they didn't provide for a long time.
I mean, all they say at the moment is that they're going to be available, but not immediately after the season ends. So, but it could be like what we had with Zer recently with and the Haunted Forest. You remember that Celestial Talons told you on the podcast, didn't he, that he got your, what was that, Arbalest to drop, didn't he, in a Gambit match? And that's because the Haunted Forest thing had gone away and he hadn't played that during that season. But like a season or 2 later, it was then available in engrams for him to then get. And then Zer sold it that following Friday. So it could be things like that that happen. So, new light and removing barriers for friends at $0. Well, nothing, basically. You don't pay anything. So you get Destiny 2 Year 1. You get the expansion 1, which was Curse of Osiris. You get the expansion 2, which was Warmind. This default version of Destiny 2 will now be called New Light. And on top of the D2 Year 1 available for free with New Light, they're going to make sure that there's plenty of new free content in Season of Undying. And here's some of what all the players, even without the Season Pass, can access on October 1st. And they've made a slight alteration to this. It says, all Destiny 2 players, whether you're coming in with New Light or are all in on Shadowkeep and Season of Undying, will have access to the following: patrolling the moon destination, the opening mission of Shadowkeep, 2 strikes.
Hey, I don't want to interrupt you, especially since I was just listening and not participating, but do you think there's a way you can read this like you're not reading an obituary?
No.
What do you mean?
You're so monotone. It's like I'm falling asleep listening to you, dude. Put some feeling into it. Something, dude. You're just like, you're reading it like a new exotic hand cannon, Arena's Vow, awarded on rank 35 of the free. That's what you sound like, dude. Change the pitch of your voice at least somewhat.
Okay. You get patrolling on the moon destination, the opening mission of Shadowkeep, 2 new strikes, Crucible updates, 2 returning PvP maps from Destiny 1 era, Widow's Call and Twilight Gap, elimination in Crucible Labs, Armor 2.0 build customization, Eye of the Gatelord seasonal artifact, 2 new finishes, 2 new pinnacle weapons, 1 for Gambit, 1 for Crucible, 3 seasonal rank rewards, which include new exotic hand cannon, Ariana's Vow, 3 legendary armor sets, 1 per class, 2 legendary weapons, best of year 2 bright engrams, glimmer, and upgrade modules.
You know, that changed my mind. Go back to being a robot.
The legendary armor and weapons that you come with the free seasonal ranks sub-blog.
You're fading out a lot there, Demon.
Yep, I know. So the legendary armor and weapons that come with the free ranks are like a sampler platter for the season pass. If you want to find out the best stat rolls for the armor, you'll need to play seasonal activities and get the drops. But players who just want to collect all of the armor can earn the base version from the free track. As Respawn likes to reiterate several things, we will now go back over Ariana's Vow, which is the new exotic hand cannon on the seasonal track.
No.
It also drops on the free track, but you get it earlier if you have the season pass. They've added a lot of rewards on the free track that are nice quality of life rewards for players, like upgrade modules, which are free infusion. So, Luke Smith wraps up his whole amazing we've just gone through for the last hour with saying we're still going to have things like holiday events, dungeons, and secret missions, and all of the kind of stuff that you like to have as a surprise. It's an evolving and experiment, and hopefully what you've seen lately. Are you talking to them or are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you because you said it's an evolving and an experiment instead of it's an evolution and an experiment.
Okay.
Can you hear them in the background again?
Yeah. It's an evolution and an experiment, and hopefully what you've seen lately is what we're going to keep doing, being agile and continuing to make the best decisions for the game along with you. And they're excited where our unified seasonal philosophies will let us take Destiny Universe over the next year. So, after all of that, on Thursday, there was loads and loads of questions that came out about what can you get in a season pass, what can you not get in a season pass, and Luke Smith went on Twitter, and it was in our band chat this morning, just before we started the podcast, which was quite nice, because I was able to go away and kind of find that and put it into this podcast for us to talk about. Because, again, Respawn was a bit confused this morning, and he needed me to clarify for him. So, hopefully this will clarify everything for you.
At least I reached out to you as a resource before the podcast.
I love you for that. I do.
Right?
So, Luke Smith has taken to Twitter to clarify the season pass, saying your season pass and its progress will travel with you with your cross-save guardian, meaning that if you set up cross-save and wherever you play, your season pass, you know, whether that be on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, you can play anywhere, and the progress that you make on that artifact and the season pass rank card will be achievable across all platforms. So as long as you've got cross save enabled on those platforms, you don't have to have Shadowkeep on every single system. But if you're going and playing with your friends on the different systems and only owned it on one system, you will still make progress on your artifact and your seasonal pass rank card. Does that explain it for you, Respawn?
Yeah. No, I mean, I knew it this morning when I reached out to you guys. It would explain then, but yeah, it's
okay.
It's
So with that, you will still have to purchase the DLC on each platform to play it on. But those 3 pieces of content that you get, again, the seasonal pass rank card, and the artifact are the things that are free that will be going with your Guardian on each platform. So, the standard edition of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep includes a digital copy of Shadowkeep and 1 season pass. So, it provides exclusive activities and rewards. So, if you just purchase the bog standard one that you can get out of the box, that's what you get. You get a digital copy of the Shadowkeep and the season pass for the first season. If you buy the digital deluxe item, you get 4 season passes, each offering a unique set of exclusives for the seasonal activities, artifacts, and rewards, and the Eris Morn themed exotic emote, ghost shell, and emblem for this season. But you can also buy season passes, like Season of Undying, separately when Shadowkeep launches for $10. Does that make sense?
Makes
for both of you.
It makes sense. The question though, if you have a PC and an Xbox account and you only get the pass on the Xbox account and you're playing on the PC and you level up,
well, this goes back to what we were talking about, 2 podcasts ago? You have to pick one account. You have to pick an account. You can't just, if you're going to play separate accounts on PC and Xbox, then they're going to be treated as separate, right? But as soon as you enable cross save, then it's all going to be identical across both of the platforms. See what I'm saying? Or were you asking a different question?
He was asking about the artifact in the season pass, weren't
You're cross-saved, and one place has a premium track and one place doesn't.
See, what I think will happen, what I'm hoping this is what you're asking. So you're saying that you own, say you own it all on Xbox and you go over to PC to play. So you will make progress whilst playing on PC. That progress, although it won't unlock the premium stuff whilst you're playing on PC, it will unlock the free track. But if you then jump back on Xbox, because you've gone past that point on your seasonal rank pass card, it will automatically go back and unlock what you've previously unlocked because you own it on that system. Does that make sense?
So you'll get the reward track on
Yeah.
the system you're on. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So
And that is assuming
it'll be retroactive
program
if you
correctly.
own it on that system. So if you make progress on another system, because you don't own the premium track, it won't unlock. But then as soon as you jump on the system that you do own the premium content on, it will unlock retroactively and say, oh, he's done like 10 ranks over on PC and he's at, say, rank 35 for the free and the premium. But when you left Xbox, you were on rank 25. It'll unlock from 25 up to 35, and then you can pick up those rewards. Hopefully, that's what's going to work.
And hopefully that's cleared everything
Again,
up for our
assuming
listeners.
Bungie did the programming right.
Well, that should be the way that it works. If they're saying that you make progress across no matter what platform, it should be, as soon as you jump on the platform you actually own that parts on, it should be unlocked for you. So how's that?
That's
We're
great.
doing well. We are more than halfway through the show. Blue, would you mind standing in for Parody this week and reading his patch note previews or hotfix things that he's got to do? That'd be much appreciated.
I'd be happy to. I'm looking at This Week at Bungie. Where's that section?
It's just slightly
Parody's
below.
hotfix preview. We miss you, Parody. I hope you're having a good time.
No, we're not. Basically, This Week at Bungie for the 29th of August.
No.
We were all thinking it, let's be honest.
All right.
They are off to PAX West. They say every summer we find ourselves talking about Destiny. And at the end of our journey, right before Destiny 2 launch, or right before Destiny launches, we make our final stop in our own backyard. And we wouldn't have it any other way. PAX West holds a special place in their hearts. It's a show where more developers from Bungie get to interact with people who play the game than any other. They also then go on to say the Bungie store has got some rewards for you, some special things that have just come in for PAX, and this is your opportunity to grab some Shadowkeep loot before it becomes available online. So if you're down at PAX West, you can grab it whilst you're there. Our away team will even stock some PAX exclusive items available to those who attend. And most of those come with emblems, it looks like, as well. So if you purchase the item, you'll get an exclusive emblem in-game.
Whew, okay. No, okay. I dozed off there for a minute because all of that was boring.
That is my monotone this week at Bungie. Thank you for listening this week.
Oh, you get a hotfix preview! All right, Blue, go. Screaming Raccoons and everything.
And standing in for Parody is Blue Screen.
And Screaming Raccoons.
Cue the raccoons. We miss you, Parody. So, in Parody's hotfix preview this week, we have quality of life on the mind as Destiny 2 hotfix 2.5.2.2 approaches for next Tuesday. Next week, hotfix 2522 will become available to players in Destiny 2. The hotfix makes several targeted quality of life improvements to the Destiny 2 experience, including changes to the quests for Wendigo GL3 and the Mountaintop Pinnacle grenade launchers. For the Wendigo GL3, you're going to have grenade launcher kills worth 100% more for each objective. The death penalty will no longer exist for the final objective, and the grenade launcher multi-kills grant 50% more progress. Completing playlist strikes grants a significant amount of progress towards the final objective. I think we can agree that's going to be a lot easier to get.
Hopefully.
No, that's easy, but I've already got the Wendigo. Did you look at the mountaintop changes yet?
About to read
is-
it. It's amazing.
Dude,
Here
read
it
it.
comes.
Read it. I
Are
don't
you
have
ready?
it yet.
Are you
but,
ready?
Oh my god. Go ahead.
Are you ready? The mountaintop
Yeah,
quest
sorry.
changes.
Sorry.
The required number of multi-kills has been reduced from 200 to 75. The required number of medals has been reduced from 100 to 25. And points earned in competitive have been further increased relative to other PvP modes. Roughly 1 time for quick play, 2 times for Iron Banner, and 3 times for comp. That is going to make it accessible to folks that look a lot like blue screen. Those are welcome changes.
I'm so glad they told us this about the Iron Banner during the last week of Iron Banner.
No,
by the
but
way.
there's another Iron Banner that's coming up.
There will be more.
Okay.
There
But
will
still.
be.
All right, so I'm going to say this. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon. I don't have the mountaintop, right? But I would think, and those of you out there listening, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
But as a player who would have grinded for the mountaintop, I would be at these changes.
You would be what? Sorry?
I would be very, very angry at these changes.
Okay.
Because it's like, I don't know. If you have a pulse and you play competitive, you get the mountaintop. That's what this looks like to me now.
It's,
you know?
This is, I think, the first taste of what they're talking about, where there's a meta. They want it to be available later to the rest of the community that wouldn't be able to obtain it in the beginning. So that's
I
exactly
do get
what
that.
we've been talking about for the large part of this podcast. And this the first taste.
I do get that, but that is a significant nerf to the freaking quest. You know,
They're making it available.
I'm glad. As a person that doesn't have it yet, I'm glad because it's going to make it easier for me to get. But if I was somebody that did the long ass grind to get it, and then I see that everything has been decreased such a huge amount, I would lose all of my everything at this point.
But you're saying
man.
that
For real.
it's very similar to how they're doing the battle pass that we're kind of going to do in Shadowkeep, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, there's the free track, and then there's the exclusive track. Those guys that have actually got the mountaintop and worked towards it, they've had it for some time, and they've used it and they've enjoyed it. Now comes the point where it's then going to be accessible for everybody else.
Destiny's got good balance, but there are superior weapons and there are mini metas. But it's a good enough game that you still have a skill gap, right? I can go up against somebody. If they gave me a recluse and a mountaintop for free, and I went up against somebody who got that in the first month they were available, I don't like my odds, right? I think there's still a skill gap in the game. So, okay, now I have that great weapon and I can enjoy it. I think it's a good thing. I think it's reasonable after Mountaintop's been out for months and months to make it available. It's not like they're selling it to me for $100 the same day that you
can work. Like you said about the skill gap, right? It also helps to understand the weapon.
Yeah.
Because when I was doing the Wendigo, I had like a rocket launcher in every slot, and it was just going painfully slow. Yeah, sorry, and it was going painfully slow. And then I was just like, you know what? Let me just try the fighting line, right? And never having used the fighting line before, I had the catalyst just because I picked it up somewhere, right? I didn't know anything about it, so I just thought it was like a POS thing because I took it into PvP once, and a direct hit didn't kill a guardian. I'm like, are you serious? And then I put it away, never to touch it again. And when I pulled it back out, I realized, hey, you can detonate it whenever you want to, and you literally never run out of ammo. And once I saw those things, I was like, holy crap. So there's a skill gap and a knowledge to how the weapon works, and I completely agree with what you said, is basically what I'm saying, Blue. Somebody that just gets it versus somebody that's been playing with it for a while, it's not going to be the same level of competition.
He actually he addressed
So,
the same weapon, the fighting lion, which I kind of fell in love with when I got the catalyst, and I stopped aiming down sight. Right, if you hip fire that thing, it's amazing. It's really easy to target. It's You can get direct hits, kill things, blow it up whenever you want. And I wouldn't have gotten it. And the same is true for these. So it's not pay to play. It doesn't take away the prestige of me being killed by a mountaintop all these weeks before it was available to me. And it's not free. I have to get 75 multi kills. I have to head into competitive, right? So it's good.
Yeah, but is the multi kills inside of PvP? It probably is.
Yes,
huh?
it is.
The PvP
weapon.
thing, yeah. So multi kills in PvP for me that's rare.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hardly ever see two guardians standing next to each other that aren't already shooting me.
Yeah. So it's hard to get the double kill, and then the medals is getting 3 kills. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be 3 kills all on the in the same go. It can be you get 1 kill, walk around the map, get another kill. As long as you don't die and get another kill, that's when you get the medal, the calculated trajectory. So that again is still quite hard to get 25 at the moment.
Is that the only medal that will
yes
that will increase that?
yes?
Are you kidding me?
Which is
It's a
why
hard weapon
it's
to
quite
get.
hard to get 100 at the moment. I'm currently sitting on 14, so I've got to get another 11 medals. I've also then got to get another 30 opponents rapidly defeated to actually get that. I'm not sure. I don't know if they've changed the final blows. It was 750 final blows in Crucible. Again, it could still be left at that, but the other 2 items have been changed. It's still quite a hard quest.
It's still gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I think it still will be offensive. I think there are people like you that will be because they got it, and they don't think anybody that didn't get 200 multi kills should have it. But the idea is to have more people playing the game. And if you're if you missed that and it just was something that I was never going to go for, and now I might go for it. Right?
Yeah.
You see,
that's what I was thinking too.
I'm not in the kind of elitist train of thought, to be honest. I grinded out. I got my Recluse and I got my Luna's Howl. I got no problem with them shortening that quest or making it easier for other Guardians to get. To make it fairer across the board for everybody to have those weapons, yes, there's got to be some kind of grind there. But if they made the quest easier for everybody to achieve them, I don't see the problem with that. I mean, I've earned it, I've got it.
That's just because you're a communist, and that's
Don't
fine.
care.
All right. Parody would be moving on now. Cue music. For the full 2522 patch notes, as soon as they are available, stay tuned to our updates page. Players who observe issues during any maintenance window should report them to the # help forum. Link in the show notes. Preparing for PC migration. When the launches of Shadowkeep and New Light on October 1, Destiny 2 on PC is migrating from Battle.net to Steam. Players who want to prepare their account for this upcoming migration should visit PC Move page to get started. PC players who link a Steam account to their Bungie.net profile will be fully prepared to have their Guardians, game licenses, and silver transferred to their Steam account on October 1. Battle.net purchases September 3. On September 3, Destiny 2 game content and Destiny 2 Silver will no longer be available for purchase on Battle.net shop. Also, on September 3, Destiny 2 Forsaken character boosts will no longer be available for purchase on any platform. On October 1, players who wish to accelerate their Destiny 2 experience straight into the end game will find that all characters, new and old, are auto-leveled to 750 power. Paired with optimized new player experience in New Light, players will be able to jump into endgame activities faster than ever. For more information, please see our New Light link in the page notes.
Respawn, you don't want to take this bit, do you? No, he's got silent on this.
Hold on, no, stand by. Hold on. I was looking up something on Battle.net. September Community Challenge Mars.
Yeah. I put it back in the notes just to remind everybody it's happening this week. That was all.
Reminder. You hear that, everybody? Reminder. That means I'm about to repeat something that we have previously discussed. I am urging, nay, begging Demon to put something in the show notes so you can skip this part had you already heard it before. For everyone else, or for the masochists that listen to the show, I will continue to repeat what has already been said. Okay. Reminder!
Stop shouting!
September Community Challenge, Mars. Don't tell me how to live my life.
You're going to be,
Whether we
muted
wanted
slightly
it
down.
or not,
Don't have
we've
to read it
stepped
verbatim
into a
anymore.
war with the Hive on Mars.
You don't
So
have
let's-
to read it verbatim. Just remind people about the challenge next week. Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to be honest here. There's lots of jokes I could make, but that sound that he just made is basically what I'm feeling right now. Okay. Honestly. I
can't do this.
okay.
Come
So-
on.
Reminder, the September Community Challenge is going to be on Mars. It's going to be a thing. He said I don't have to read everything else, so I'm not
verbatim. Don't read everything verbatim.
Okay, I'm not going to read the word verbatim. I'll read everything else, though.
Okay.
Whether we wanted it or not,
No.
we've stepped into a war
No.
with the Hive
No.
on Mars.
No.
So let's get...
When does it start, Respawn?
It starts September 3rd at 10 and ends September 10th at 10 a.m. PDT. Whatever those mean, nobody cares. Community objectives, once again, 175,000 Wave 7 clears for escalation protocol. 300 million Hive murders on Mars. An insignificant number of Mars nightfalls. I say that because it doesn't actually list it once again. You have to teabag Nokris 150,000 times. You have to skin Zol 100,000 times. And you have to go out and find 300,000 override frequencies. Oh my god, I thought we were done with that. The rewards! You get an emblem. Huzzah. It's an okay looking emblem. It's not bad.
You said it was a good one last week, so now this week,
Yeah.
as the weeks go on, it degrades, does it?
Okay, listen, it's still a good emblem, but now overall, I just feel bad about the whole thing. It's putting a bad taste in my mouth. So even if this was the best emblem in the world of Destiny, I would still be meh, because I've got a sour
Cool
taste
emblem,
in my
though.
mouth. I've already said that.
It's got a Siva
now.
thing going on.
No, it was a cool emblem last week. It's gone down in his estimations this week.
No, it is a good emblem. I do like the Siva, not the Siva, sorry. I like the Braytech type style stuff. So it's not bad.
So
You know,
what's the
Warmind type-
additional thing that we get once we've unlocked all of those? Respawn? Please
Okay.
elaborate.
It also serves as an opportunity for you to further impress Emperor Callus. If the community reaches all of the above goals, Callus's fat ass will unlock additional rewards for successful menagerie complete. Starting when the goals are met, players will be guaranteed 2 rewards when slotting their runes and operating the chest. An additional reward will be added each Friday for the remainder of the season. There
Lovely.
you go.
Now, Bungie
That's
have
not
come
the
out.
word I would-
Bungie have come out and said that then there's not going to be kind of any in-game tracker to let the community know, but they will update us every day on like Twitter and Instagram and things like that of how we're progressing towards hitting those numbers. So that's something
Want
to
an
kind
in-game
of
tracker?
look forward to.
Need a tracker. Gotta have a tracker.
No, there's no tracker in game. They will make
There
up a
needs
number
to
and
be.
go, well, you've done this amount. We need this amount.
Good.
You've only done
Make that number exactly what we need on day 1. I like that. Additional news
No,
and information.
No, you're not reading additional news unless you're going to be sensible. It's either
I can be sensible.
Blue
does that mean?
being sensible, me being sensible, or you being sensible.
Listen, you're never sensible. Okay, so let's just... No, wait, is that me? Am I the one that's never sensible?
Never
Somebody
sensible.
here is never sensible. I'm not saying who.
Well, I thought Blue was
DMG.
sensible.
Oh,
He is sensible. He's added quality feedback to this show today. I don't know why you're giving him such a hard time. I greatly appreciate his contributions to the show today, and I think you're being unusually hurtful to a man who's trying his best. Okay? Thank you. Point proven. DMG, while you won't be able to abandon the mysterious box quest at Shadowkeep launch, oh my god! What? Work is being done for an update later in October. That is... How many minutes has that been?
is it possible 19 minutes? Do you have a way that you can just take his volume and even it out across the podcast, or is it?
Yeah, he can.
I try.
Anyway, come Shadowkeep, enhancement cores will be dismantled individually as opposed to entire stacks. Did you guys see that? I was watching, you know, and I'm not going to say the YouTuber's name because I guarantee it's going to be wrong. But I was watching a YouTuber, and they were talking about how some guy wrote into Destiny, and he accidentally deleted his entire stack of like 74 cores or something.
Yep.
That hurts. I feel his pain. No promises about SRL. You suck. But the feedback is passed along. For those that don't know by now, SRL is Sparrow Racing League, aka the cool thing you get to do in the raid that's called, I cannot remember. It's called Scourge of the Past, where you have the motivated Sparrow race with the giant sun behind you. Pretty much the same thing, but without the sun. Okay. The team has been hard at work on some sandbox quality of life coming in Shadowkeep. One item in particular is the Sunshot and its magazine size. More details are coming when we're closer to it in October. That actually is pretty cool. I think they're probably going to upgrade it to like 11 or 13 rounds, something like that. That'd be cool.
Possibly.
A lot better.
They have changes coming in Shadowkeep to the competitive playlist, which may make the Mida Catalyst more accessible. What is that catalyst? I don't think I have that.
No, you've had to have maxed out your glory rank in competitive, and then you get a chance.
Okay, I definitely don't have that. So what does it do?
Don't
I haven't got it. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So it's going to make the Mida Catalyst more accessible. Once that's live, they'll continue to monitor this feedback. They have protections in place where AFK players should not receive rewards if sitting idle for too long, and will be moved from matches and matchmaking as well. They pass this feedback along to see if they can add additional protections, as AFK players negatively impact the experience for everyone else in the lobby. There's a link to the forums. Now, I've heard this being a problem in Gambit and Crucible, which is where I'm assuming this is about. But I ask you, are they also talking about the AFK Forge running?
When they said matchmaking, that's a matchmaking endeavor, so I would assume so.
Yeah, but they said
anytime.
They said idle for too long, and if you're idle inside of the Forge, as long as nobody moves or revives you, you won't get kicked. Right? That's the whole point of the AFK farming method. But if you're in a Crucible or a Gambit match, yeah, you're going to be idle and you're going to get kicked. That's already in play, I thought.
Yeah, I think people have got rubber bands and they're putting rubber bands on their controller and they're going to sleep. No, that doesn't work. They're looking
I've
at
tried it. I've tried it. That doesn't
well.
work because the input is continuous in that same direction, and it'll still see you as being inactive if it doesn't change the direction that it's in. You see what I'm saying? So putting a rubber band on there isn't going to do anything.
Whatever people are doing, they're saying in this post that they're going to improve their ability to recognize AFK and remove those people from matchmaking activities. And I would think that the Forge would count for that.
I'm hoping it doesn't. That's my personal opinion. In addition to what you can earn by playing activities in the game, every season of Destiny 2 Year 3 will have 2 tracks of rewards as you can rank up. Oh my god! Skipping that. Shadowkeep purchase details. When you purchase Shadowkeep, get the season pass for the current season. Example, if you pre-ordered Shadowkeep, you'll have the season pass. Oh, are they just repeating the first 4 pages again? Hold on. Let me read ahead.
Okay, you read ahead.
Okay. So, a little different. All right, I'll read this one. If you pre-order Shadowkeep, you have the season pass for Season 3 of The Undying. If you wish to remain on the paid track for future seasons, it will be available as a standalone for $10 purchases. I'm assuming that means $10 a piece. If you purchase the digital deluxe edition of Shadowkeep, you'll have a season pass for all seasons in year 3. If you do not purchase Shadowkeep, you can spend the $10 for Season of the Undying a la carte and be on the paid track for that season. It wasn't there. I added that, but I would assume it would only be for that first season. They are aware of the Iron Banner quest step Headstrong Cheese. I am not. I have to check that out. 3v3 elimination will be available via Crucible Labs when Shadowkeep... Actually, what is that about? I'm assuming you know what it is, Demon.
We went over it like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big deal is that Crucible Labs is coming back. And so elimination in Crucible Labs could bring us closer to certain kind of activity that people have been begging
No,
for.
I was actually talking about the Headstrong Cheese for Iron Banner.
It's the
That's
final
what I was
part of the Iron Banner quest that you can get like a 2 stack of wins and then just keep going in and out of orbit and swapping characters, and it'll progress that part of the quest rather than you having to actually play. We've linked a Cheese Forever video for the last couple of weeks when Iron Banner.
Cheese Forever, Guardian!
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Cheese Forever, I got something for you guys later. Or maybe Night Demon does. Or perhaps Blue Screen. Somebody's got something for you. Anyway, 3v3 elimination will be available via Crucible Labs when Shadowkeep launches. They'll have more details on the variations of game mode rules, and that they'll be testing in labs in September. There are a few exacts about PvP that they'll be sharing with you closer to launch. Which maps will be going on hiatus, glory changes, etc. But that is not this week, so they mentioned it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That was a
Deej.
tweet. That's why.
Right. Deej, there will be seasonal ranks are not gates to any activity. Your progress is account-based, unifying all characters. That's awesome. A Chronos. In regards of cross-save and clan slots, there is a bug that's preventing you from leaving clans on inactive accounts. A fix is coming, and it will make buttons available to you to free up the rosters. Cool.
Yay!
So,
my favorite part of the podcast.
Not quite. No, there's some things we got to address that I haven't seen thus far.
Oh boy.
I sent you a screenshot, Demon.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy that wants his friend's clan to be given a shout out. I don't see that in the rest of the pages, so where are we going to do that at?
If you scroll down, just scroll down slightly on the notes.
Okay.
It goes Cheese Forever, Cheese Forever, Cheese Forever. And then what's the title? What does it say? You can read it.
Oh, sure. Hold on, hold on.
The title is called Respawn's Clan Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that page.
It's the top of the page. It's the top of page 17. Oh, top of page 18. Okay. Last page.
Oh, I see.
And then it says, I'm sure you have some details on this respawn. So you're trying to skip ahead. But if you want to do your clan spotlight now, go ahead.
No. Edit this out because I got to go back inside to get my phone, which is where I took the picture. I don't have it with me.
Okay, you do that, and I'll go back and do the tips, tricks, and guides.
Anything left for me to do, or am I just going to sit quietly and play Raccoon sounds?
Raccoon sounds!
You can help me go through the tips and tricks.
No.
Anything you want.
No. He is going to help you by playing Raccoon sounds at opportune moments. Okay?
Okay.
That is your help.
No. So, Cool Guy has a console hand cannon guide that goes over all the hand cannons on console. The 110s, the 140s, and the 150s, and the 180s. he shows you the PC comparisons to help explain, and he hopes that this will help you understand how accuracy cone, range, bloom, initial accuracy, final accuracy, fall off, and more, and how it all ties together in Destiny 2. He says it's no secret that these hand cannons are great on PC with a mouse, but on console, they're simply, just using a controller, they can suffer. Hopefully, you'll have a better understanding of after all of it's over. And these are the things that you need to know, things that you need to look for when you're looking for like the rolls on the weapons. It's a very long video, but it's really worth watching because he goes over like the 110s versus the 140s, 150s, and shows you, pluses and minuses to having like a 110 versus a 180.
There's a lot to it,
And
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to the video. It's definitely worth watching because it's very informative. Next, we have Fallout Plays, does a best weapon perks. And he's, again, going down his rabbit holes of looking at different perks and really taking them apart. With all the changes coming in Shadowkeep and the damage stacking effects that you can use, that you can still use on weapons, and using an ability to have a damage buff, he's got a good video going over the weapon perks that he thinks are best. So he looks at multi-kill clip versus kill clip versus rampage versus swashbuckler, and he comparing the best weapon perks for both PvE and PvP in a head-to-head contest. And he shows you all the durations, all the effects, and all the numbers that you may be looking for. Again, another really good video, and especially seen as we've got all these changes coming in Shadowkeep, and they did say that those damage stacking on the weapons is going to stay. It's definitely worth looking at to help maximize your new builds that you're going to be putting together in Shadowkeep. So Destiny Fun Police has also put his top 5 pulse rifles in a video, and he goes over why he thinks they're good, and he also goes over the perks that he thinks that you should be looking for and what are good to look out for PvP. And some of them, are kind of these ones that you kind of know in the back of your head from watching all these other videos. You think, yeah, that's a definite thing. But some of the pulse rifles that he's picked, you wouldn't have thought, that's a decent one. But he explains why he uses it and why it's, in his top 5, basically. They also have a Pyro gaming video, things you didn't know you could do in D2. And in the video, Pyro teaches you how to Warlock Relic skate. He also uses the exotic sword, the Worldline Zero, to show you how to skate with that. He shows you how to kill immune enemies. Basically, he goes to the Crown of Sorrow raid, and you have 2 knights that are spawned in at the beginning, and he shows you that you can actually kill those without a damage buff, which is really interesting, really quite cool. And I'm just wondering what other enemies that would work on. Shows you how to grenade jump, and he shows you the no gun glitch, which gives you a kind of a theater mode, and a few more things that you can do. So that's an interesting video. And I think it was a couple of weeks ago we did a jar video on generating mod components. He's also put another video together for the ultimate prep guide for Shadowkeep, and he goes over all his tips and tricks that he uses at the moment to farm bright dust, exotic shards, and mod components in his preparation for Shadowkeep. And there's quite a few good tips in there that's worth a watch. Cheese Forever has 3 videos that we've this week. Number 1 is 10 ghost tricks and exploits that you can do, and he goes over different things that you can do, shows you some really cool details that you might have missed on the ghosts and the projections and things that you can do with them. Number 2, tips and tricks on how to hoard items in your vault and on your characters, which can be then converted into Glimmer come Shadowkeep, with the Glimmer cap being raised to 250,000. So that's worth a watch, because there are maybe some things that you can do to help boost your Glimmer when you first start. And then 3, he has a full Eververse stock for the season. And in that video, he breaks down and shows you what is available each week in Eververse, so you can plan ahead for either purchasing silver or bright dust for the rest of the season. And hopefully, Respawn's found his phone and come back to us with his clan spotlight.
Indeed, I have, young Master Demon. All right. This message was sent to me on Xbox while I was playing the other day. The gentleman's name is Balanced Relic 3. His friends have a clan called Suge Knights, and that is SUGE space Knights. Once again, Sierra, Uniform, Golf, Echo, Space, Kilo, November, India, Golf, Hotel, Tango, Sierra. It's primarily for Xbox, but they are open to invites from any platform. And that's it.
Okay. So the guy that contacted you is the contact if anybody needs.
No, he's not. He's not a part of that clan. He's a part of our clan.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's in our clan now, but he said his friends are in a clan called Suge Knights, or Suge Knights, however you want to pronounce that. And yeah, his friends wanted him to see if we could do a shout out for him. So.
Okay. So have you got any more details on that, or shall I just find them and put them in the show notes?
That's all I have. He just gave me the name. That's it.
Okay. So I will find all that information out for you and put in the show notes.
What is that? Is that like supposed to be Zen music? What is that? There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
It's competition time. Not raccoon time. Not raccoon time. Competition time.
Oh yes, competition time.
All right.
It's competition time, guys. Whoa. No raccoons were hurt just yet.
But
We have
Demon
a
is
competition.
rapidly climbing to the fact that he's about to hunt one down.
Hunt one down, skin it alive.
Right.
We have a competition. So we'll have this competition and we'll hold it open for a good couple of weeks, because I know a lot of people listen to the show.
But there was no fanfare for that, man. You just like, we have a competition.
You did the
No,
Chinese stuff.
no, that was the intro, but there was no fanfare. You know, there was no excitement. It's like, we have a competition! Dun, 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 something like that. That's
I'll do it again.
fanfare. Okay.
I'll do it again. We have a competition, guys! So, our good friend Cheese Forever has kindly given us a code for the Planet of Peace emblem, and you can redeem this when we give you the code, basically. So, what I want from you guys is either to tweet, put it on Instagram, or email. Just let us know somehow. I need to know this information. I would like your best intro for the show. So for me, to introduce myself, and then Parody and Respawn. So it can be the greatest put down that you can ever have on Respawn or Parody, because he's been, a pain for the last 2 weeks of not being here and helping me out.
Don't worry about introducing Blue Screen. He's never getting invited back.
I'm gonna invite you, Blue. I'm gonna try to get you back on, buddy. All right. And yeah, the put downs are funny because we enjoy it. But also, if you can come up with something that's just good, that isn't necessarily a put down for anybody, I'm not saying me
it doesn't have to
specifically, but it really should be me specifically.
It does have to be a put down.
It should describe two different Titans and a Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Just any intro that you think would be comedic, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. I just want something that's funny. What do you think? Funny is good, whether it's good, bad, or whatever. Yeah. So we can pick the top 3 by a vote, and then you can randomize the 3 to get the emblem. Fair?
Okay. Yes.
Raccoon agrees. He should have a name. We should name the raccoon. His name should be Billy.
He's Ricky Raccoon.
Ricky Raccoon? No, I think that's copyrighted somewhere. It's gotta be copyrighted.
Send your entries
Trademark.
either on Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, or email, and title it Show Opener. Then, put your show opener. The best 3 that we have will get read out on the show, and then we'll put those 3 in a hat and pull out one of those names.
Yep. I dig it. I dig it a lot.
You did get
But
good.
you do need to give them our contact info. So,
No, because Parody does that at the end, doesn't he? Oh no, he doesn't, because he's not here.
right? So that means you got to ear fumble through it because I don't know it.
Oh. Again, every. Is that it? Do you think we're done?
That's it.
Is there any other additional information you think that we need to cover this week, either of you?
Yeah, you need to give them a way to contact us with the stuff, dude.
I will, because that comes
Okay.
at the end of the show.
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm good.
That's like now.
Unless Blue's got something to add. Unless Demon's got something to add.
I'm curious. We crushed our way through the opulence. Now we have this unexpected gap before the new content. How are you going to spend your time in the weeks before we get new content?
Collecting cores and AFK farming before it's no longer a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll probably do a bit of AFK forge farming in the evenings when I'm not playing. When I'm playing, I'll probably be doing as many like enhancement core bounties that I can on each character. Trying to stack as much glimmer as I can. I think one of the ways that I found was quite interesting was if you're doing bounties and things on a planet and then turning in those materials, you're getting stacks and stacks of shaders, which you can then use to then, dismantle into glimmer. So I think that's another way that I'm just gonna kind of try and stockpile stuff for the next week or so, and do a part of those community challenge towards the end of the week when I'm not busy.
How many legendary shards do you have?
I have
Legendary shards.
While you're looking, the reason I bring it up is because I have a little over 1,000, right?
Okay.
And with the spider, you can turn the shards into planetary materials. You can turn the shards into just straight glimmer, right? Those shards translate into a lot of stuff, which is why instead of collecting like the phase glass needles or this or that or the other, I've been turning all of my materials into the spider, getting legendary shards for them because those legendary shards are like a universal currency.
Yeah.
You can trade those to spider for whatever, including cores.
So I've got 1,600 shards.
There you go.
I've got 315 enhancement cores, 120 mod components.
Good Lord.
I've got 4,000 weapon parts. And then I've got like nearly stacks of 999 planetary materials for infusion. So I'll just kind of be doing the same kind of things, just building up stacks for the next couple of weeks. Do the community event next week. Then I think it's the week after is another Iron Banner, I believe. I can't remember the roadmap off the top of my head. But yeah, I'll probably play the last Iron Banner as much as I can. And then possibly the week before Shadowkeep, I will dismantle anything that I've got left that's bright dust, like ghost shells and Eververse items. Then go through my vault and kind of clear down the armor and weapons that I don't need. Armor, I'd probably be looking for like if I've got a specific build, I'll keep that specific build. But if it's not part of a build, I'll dismantle it. Unless it's got something enhanced on it. Oh, and the other thing that I was going to mention, and we were talking about this in the band chat, the Armor 2.0 that you can get from the gunsmith, if you've done your solstice gear and it's the first package that you can collect from the gunsmith, I'm taking a bet on this that if you leave it at the gunsmith and then just carry on with the Shadowkeep campaign and you'll get Armor 2.0 to drop. I'm thinking that if you leave it with the gunsmith, I mean, you could try on your first character. If you leave it at the gunsmith, go off and do as much grinding as you can possibly. And then once you've got to the point where you can't grind anymore on your first character, maybe then go back to the gunsmith and pick up the Armor 2.0 version of the Solstice armor. Because I'm thinking that it may power level to the point that you are currently at, or just give you a couple more points of light. I mean, there's no harm in leaving it there, because if you pick it up when you first go into Shadowkeep, it's going to be 750. It's not going to be 800 drop. It's just going to be a 750.
But the thing is, when you go to him to get like a bounty or whatever, right? As soon as you see the armor, you've locked its light level, right?
I don't know
So
that.
that means you can't go talk to him.
It's in a package. When you go over to speak to him, it's in a sealed package. You don't pick it up until you actually click on the button.
Okay.
So if you pick it up when you first go into Shadowkeep, it's going to be 750. So there's no harm in you leaving it there till you've kind of gone through the grind of getting new armor and things. Because if you really want it, you're going to infuse it up anyway. So there's a chance that it could come out at a higher light level if you pick it up later in the campaign.
I see the logic. However,
it wouldn't hurt you to do it on your first character, and if it works,
why only have it on one character? So
well, there you go then. You were going to get armor 2.0 drops from everything else that you're going to be doing in the world.
Escalation protocol.
Exactly. You're going to be doing loads of other stuff, and you'll get armor 2.0 to drop. It may not be the best stuff, but it still be armor 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to hurt you to leave that set there for a couple of days, maybe the week.
Fair enough. I'm just saying it'd be my bet, based on how Destiny functions, that it's going to be locked at 7. And from that point,
it possibly could. But then again, if it's locked, and it doesn't matter if you pick it up at the beginning of the week or at the end of the week, it's still going to be 750. And if you want it, and you're going to have to infuse it anyway. So, but if it gives you those extra light points, then it's a bonus.
For me, it's one of you're absolutely right. It's worth doing, but there's certain points where if I min max too much, I can suck some of the fun out of the game, and I want to get into what that tier 2 is going to be and get used to how to manipulate those different factors and figure out what I want and how it affects my grenades. And that's all way back in history, right? That's D1 stuff, basically. It's going back to that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of enjoy the game for the next couple of weeks and maybe finish off a couple of quests, because I'll probably have to do... I haven't managed to do the Shattered Throne this last week, so I'll probably do that on the last week that I can. What about you, Boo? What are you going to be doing for the next couple of weeks?
Well, I'm pretty well set for materials. I got 6,500 shards, and I got 330 of those enhancement cores, and I got thousands of weapon materials. So I'm going to try to man up and destroy all but the best armor, maybe 2 sets max per character. That's my intent. I'm going to watch those the pre-pair videos and build up Glimmer. And the hard thing for me, I think, is going to be getting into the inventory. And there's no reason to believe we're going to get more inventory space, right?
Yeah, no, we're not going to. Well, they haven't said. Which is why I think I'm going to have to go through the vault and really be kind of ruthless with myself.
Yep, I'm chilling at $4.99. It's time for me to do a little spring clean. Mm-hmm.
I haven't kept a piece of armor for the last 3 weeks, except for the solstice stuff. Everything's just destroyed.
You've got a pretty clear vault then.
That's nothing new. The vault was already full. So getting in, because the stuff I have is good. I have a lot of enhanced stuff. I just have a bunch of stuff that is going to be very useless at the turn of the expansion. That's my plan. Throw stuff out.
And with that note, we're going to throw these 2 out. So, thank you for joining us this week. Your Titans have been Night Demon and Blue Screen 42. Your Hunter is No One Respawns in Real Life. You can email the show at 2titansandahunter@hotmail.com. You can tweet us at 2titans_hunter. We have a Facebook page that you can go to, which is 2 Titans and a Hunter. There's a Frozen clan that you can join if you feel like it. It's Frozen with a Z. I'll put a link in the show notes for that. You can find your favourite Guardians on Xbox Live. So that's Blue as well. Just hassle him. He probably wants to need to do, Escalation Protocol about 20,000 times with parody next week. Hopefully you can watch this show on YouTube this week because Lazy Guts will be back, and I will make sure that he gets this podcast Monday, Tuesday, so you can have something to watch. We're forcing him to play Monday and Tuesday, so he's got some footage for you.
Right.
Yeah. You can listen to the podcast on Apple, Google, Spotify, and everywhere fine podcasts are sold. I leave you.
So bad at this, dude. I never appreciated Parody being here until you try to do the closing, man. It's like he fumbles over it, but he's got like all these things he could say or whatever.
Yeah.
But you just you're don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be doing any better, right? But
I could deliberately be fumbling this. You don't know that.
Wait, you're not already doing that?
Thanks for having me.
I deliberately
Thanks,
fumble my way through the whole podcast. I just edit out all the bits I accidentally fumble at.
Mm-hmm.
So again,
Anyway. So yeah, available where all your favorite podcasts are sold.
I leave
Goodbye
you
forever.
trying to get a word in Edgeways past Respawn, Raccoons, and Blue Screen.
Not
Thank you for
Raccoons,
listening this week.
just the one. All right.
You had one and he had one. Your one
Okay,
made no
that's fair.
noise, and his one made all the noise. Until next time, Guardians. Bye.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Boo.
Bye, Blue.
I had something that I really wanted to say, but now I forgot it. Oh my goodness. Praising you as our Lord and Savior, Night Demon.